M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. This is counter. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
In the center for Pittsburgh, Marquise Pouncey, one of the most physical and agile players at his position in the league. A 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's a keystone of one of the top offensive lines in the league.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court. And we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will take over at their own 20-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season.
Check 26, check 26.
On second down, Ingram. And an alley to run. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson, flush to his right. He's going to fire one, corner the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
Strong right. 4 down. Along here. Take the edge. Come. Check.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10, escaping the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and it's 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses. And excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Black 30. 40's mine. 40's mine. 40's mine. Hey.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's caught. The former USC Trojan, Xavier Grimble. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st down, Connor going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Needed more than 3, but that's all they got. And it's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Baltimore taking the field again here, and as we mentioned earlier, getting the win over San Fran this past week to get to 10-2. That's now 8 straight victories for the Ravens. That's a new franchise record. And you mentioned that they are going to have their, in all likelihood, their 2nd consecutive division crown in the AFC North. Last year, they barely got it at the end of the season. They've got a full 3-game lead this year.
Yeah, they could cruise to the title. It won't be easy because they have to go to Buffalo next, and Buffalo has to have that game in order to keep pace in the wild card race, and they're playing pretty well. But then after that, they're home against the Jets, then they take on the Browns, and then they're home for Pittsburgh. So you're right, they've got a chance to kind of cruise in, but I don't think they're going to play it that way. They've got a lot of momentum going. They're clicking on offense with Lamar Jackson, and the defense has really stepped up its game. Hard to move.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson, and a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Black 20.
That's thrown to Smith-Schuster out wide. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The throw right sideline here is complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Jackson. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter. And with increased expectations and trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. CD, while we have a quick second here, I want to give a shout-out to 3 teams who have struggled mightily this year, who all got wins in Week 12. The Dolphins, the Redskins, and for their first win of the season, the Bengals.
How about you? I love your empathy, right? You hate to see teams struggle like this. Hate to see teams that are down. And when they get wins, you come with a little bounce, don't you? You got a little extra spring in your step. Those Bengals, and they beat the Jets, who at the time were hot, right?
Yep.
They won 3 in a row. How about Washington? That win over Carolina. And then, of course, the Dolphins. No one really saw that coming. Their win over Philadelphia, even though it was at home. Could those wins for those teams be the death knell for the teams that lost? The Jets, we're not going to talk about them anymore. Carolina, they still thought maybe a late run could put them in the playoff race in the NFC South. And then how about Philadelphia? But they're not out of it.
No.
They still control their destiny. If they win out, they go 9-7 and win the NFC East.
Yeah, because they're just 1 game back of 6-6 Dallas. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To Connor on the check down. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. Roethlisberger got to get his guys to the line as quick as he can. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 36. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see momentum, because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy, because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong, because they have plenty of leg.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead, as time expires in the first half, as the Ravens push further out in front. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're...
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. Now Jackson rolling to his left. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, first down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 17-yard line. Jackson now, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson eluding the pressure right. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Seth Roberts there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. You just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger. Washington's got it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got Moncrief. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Roethlisberger will throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Ben to throw again. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Now it's Roethlisberger. Screen pass to Connor. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Now Roethlisberger. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. The Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson, 29 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a third down and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On the draw, this is Ingram. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Ingram. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Slam, slam. Ready, go.
On second down now, it's Ingram.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Quick throw taken in by Snead. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead, his 2nd touchdown of the night as the Ravens push further out in front.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.